All right, good evening, Flames fans. Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday evening, where the Flames lose this one yet once again. The second game in a row in the homestand. Thought the Blasty was going to be some sort of a lucky charm, but apparently it's not, as the Flames have dropped two straight at home against tonight against the Ottawa Senators, as they take this one by a score of 4-1. The score could have been way worse. Ottawa Senators were dangerous in the second and third period. But Devin Cooley, oh my goodness, what a great guy he is. He stops everything. But before that, before we get to the game scoring summary, before we get to the game notes, in case you missed, Matt C is here. Matt C, welcome aboard. But in case you missed, the Flames made kind of a surprise trade yesterday. If you weren't aware, if you were away, I couldn't get a chance to record a session just yet, a recap of the trade or reaction. So let's do it just right now. All right, let's instead of me making mistake, let me just quickly pull up the full trade details again. I should have written this down, but I became a bit lazy watching the game. But here we go. So it's a trade to the Utah Mammoth. Mackenzie Weegar had to waive his no-trade clause, and he did. He agreed to move to Utah Mammoth. It was reported by LA Freeman late afternoon that Mackenzie Weegar was going to, they had the framework of the trade, but it would have been Mackenzie Weegar that needs to approve to get this deal done. And indeed, Mackenzie Weegar approves the non-trade clause. He agrees to waive to go to Utah Mammoth. And the Flames will end up with Oli Matted, the defenseman. He didn't play tonight. I'm hearing he's expected to join the Flames team on Saturday, taking on the Carolina Hurricane, last Blasty game of the month of March and the regular season. There is also rumor out there that Blasty might be stopped for a while. They're planning to bring different type of jersey. We'll find out if that's true. The Flames also received Jonathan Castanga. Hopefully that's how I pronounced it. If anybody has a different pronunciation, leave it on the chat for me. Do really appreciate it. And then they get three 2026 second round picks, one of Ottawa Senators, one of New York Rangers, and one of Utah Mammoth itself. And I'm hearing that if they use those picks carefully and precisely, especially of that New York Rangers pick, we could probably draft the Ruck twins, who is killing it in the Medicine Hat Tigers, along with Andrew Basha, which would be cool. I think it's Marcus Ruck and Liam Ruck, who is fantastic in the WHL. Why not draft the twins? Why not draft Gavin McKenna? Looks like the Flames now are satisfied to go on a full-on rebuild, especially trading away Mackenzie Weegar. He was probably the last one on my board to trade as well. When I did the show against the Dallas Stars, I told that I just have him on a square box, stating that no urgency to trade him, but Conroy decided to surprise all. And now Mackenzie Weegar is on road to Utah Mammoth. I believe his visa process takes 4 to 6 days, so he won't play until next week for the Utah Mammoth. So regardless, a player who was struggling, a player who was 32 years old, something like that, getting a defenseman back who you could flip him or trade him for few more picks, and then a prospect sender who's left-handed. We'll see what the potential is in him. I believe he's unsigned, so the Flames will be looking to sign him and Abram Weeb, who we got part of the Rasmus Anderson trade, and then the round picks, so we can potentially draft the Ruck twins. So totally happy trade in terms of business wise, considering the trajectory the Flames are gonna go. But I feel also sad because Mackenzie Weegar was the one who decided to push for the new arena, asked for the new arena, got the approval. He went himself and toured around the Scotia Place. He saw the construction, and finally he's not gonna be here when the Scotia Place opens. And in his Instagram thank you or gratitude post, he said, "Enjoy your new arena," which definitely made it emotional. But business side of wise, I really like this trade. Let me know what your thoughts are about the trade as well. I would love to hear it. If you have any questions as well, feel free. I'll answer them as I have a look on the chat line. Matsy, if I forgot to say hi, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining. It's been a while I've seen you. Hope your Olympic breaks went well and all that stuff. Alright, so that is my Mackenzie Weegar trade reaction. Great overall trade. Mackenzie Weegar was struggling, but a great human being. Mackenzie Weegar, when you were here, the vibes were immaculate. We'll miss you. But go play your heart out in Utah and chase for the playoffs. I think he wanted playoffs after all. Alright, let's talk about this game itself. Then we'll talk about other trade updates. I do have a couple trade updates in regards to Blake Coleman and Nazem Kadri. We'll talk about them in just a moment's time. We'll see if anybody else is gonna gauge the attraction on the trade market. And then we'll end it with the schedule look and all that stuff, regular programming. But hopefully we'll see if there is any breaking news. Unlikely while the show is happening, but I'll keep an eye out anyway. I have Twitter open as well on the side. But quick scoring summary, let's get through it. Martin Pospisil opens the scoring for the Calgary Flames, who really had the jump compared to the game against the Dallas Stars a couple nights ago. Martin Pospisil kicks open the scoring, and that's thanks to Matvei Gredin, who had a great pass on to Martin Pospisil. Eventually, later, they gave a second assist to Yegor Sharangovich, and it made 1-0 for the Calgary Flames. Thought they were going to hang on to the lead, but then it was the Ottawa Senators that would get the rest of the game going on. So Flames would come out of the first period 1-0. Devin Cooley, oh my goodness, he's amazing. And now, even though the Flames lost and Flames fans were panicking that Devin Cooley was making stellar saves, let him. Because I think we have ended up after this game. We are now, Yep, we are officially at 31st in the league. So don't mind Devin Cooley or Dustin Wolf making a couple of saves here and there, because they need to practice their goaltending as well. We are ethically tanking at this point. We could be in for a great year, success draft-wise, getting either a Gavin McKenna, Ivar Stenberg, or Keaton Verhoff. And then we could be looking at getting the Marcus and Liam Ruck twins. Coronato and Sharangovich had some great jumps in this game as well. Michael Backlund also had some chances, but he hasn't scored in a while now. You would think these trade talks are affecting the players. Maybe there is a part to it. But you will see the Flames continue to struggle as the days goes on. Then Dylan Cousins on a power play snap. Before that it was Lars Eller who got a fantastic shot through, assisted by Greg. Cooley couldn't see that one. And Perek couldn't steer that puck away as well. He was right in front of Lars Eller. And then the Ottawa Senators would take it away from then. Dylan Cousins, assisted by Brady Tkachuk, on a power play snipe. One hell of a snipe as well. Once again, Cooley couldn't stop that. Wouldn't blame him on the first and second goal. And the Cooley was not even there for the third and fourth goal. It was Stutzler, an empty net goal, and short-handed, unassisted. And then Shane Pinto assisted by Amadio and Zub, and empty net goal. Matsi Coronado has 32 shots on goal in a row without hitting the net. Yeah, I don't know. Something is wrong with Matt Coronado, unfortunately. Um, he's not been himself this season. Hopefully, he can turn it around next season. That's the hope. He still has a bright future ahead with the Flames, but he hasn't been himself. Sorry, Guido Sanchez is here. Sounds like the owner is blocking a couple of deals with retention. Yeah. That was the afternoon update I was going to talk about in the second and third periods, but let's get to it. Looks like any deal with retention, especially on Kadri. I believe Murray Edwards doesn't like that trade, doesn't like that look. So he has said no and denied it, and that came from, I believe, Nick Kipras of the Toronto market. If I'm not mistaken, he was the original one who responded at first, who said, in regards to Nazim Kadri's trade block. On Coleman, I haven't heard anything new yet. So his talk has been cooled down a bit. Of course, tomorrow 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time for us folks here in Calgary is a trade deadline. I believe Matvey Gredin is eligible to go down when the Wranglers need him for the playoffs. I hope the Wranglers as well make the playoffs. That's the one hope, at least for the Calgary market, I would like to see. But Wranglers have been struggling as well as of late. So that's where we are at with things. Alright, let's head into the second period once the scoring summary is done. Just a couple game notes because the game let away from the Flames in the second and third period. It was the Senators that kept on pushing and got the job done. Devin Cooley OMG was one of my game notes. Like I said earlier on, I don't mind if goaltenders make a couple of these saves because they are playing for a job as well. And if your team is struggling in front of you, they need some support as well. I understand that. And they come to play, they come to work. And we can't stop them. We don't decide that. We can't say that Cooley stop making saves, Dustin Wolf stop making those saves. It is up to them what they see, what they track the puck. And if it ends up being a game like this, I don't mind at all. And the Coronado had some jumps today, but like Matt C said, something is not sitting right with Matt Coronado. I don't know if it's him just being snake bitten. I don't know if it's, I believe that injury he sustained right around the nose area a few months ago into last year. I don't know if that's affecting him in some form. Where he got that big scar. Who knows? We'll probably know the reasoning of all these towards the end of the year. I'm curious also to know about Mackenzie Weegar once he's done his run with Utah Mammoth this season. From his media availabilities, if he played hurt at all, because he did look like the Weegar himself. And then Sharangovich had some great jumps tonight as well, but I don't know what to do Sharangovich either. He hasn't been as effective for the Flames either. A few other players that I noticed tonight, Zane Perek, he had a couple of good shifts. Kadri was really fighting it tonight. And talking about Kadri, I believe he said if he doesn't get traded by the trade deadline, it's going to be disappointing from him. I believe that came from Darren Drieger on TSN. So could you see a Kadri moved by tomorrow is the question. But once again, like Guido Sanchez said, The owners are blocking any trades with retention involved. On that note, for retention wise, there is just a one retention spot available for the Flames this season. Who do they use it is the question. Maybe you can use it to Kadri because he has a bit of a longer term and of his age. But if you are going to get a better return on Coleman, you can use it on Coleman. I don't know what to gauge, to be honest. I feel like Kadri could be a summer thing, at least Coleman, if they can get done tomorrow. It will be interesting to see. Other trade updates, we haven't heard much about Hanley and Pachal, but I believe they are also involved and they're listening on offers. I believe something new came out today that Martin Pospisil might be listening on Martin Pospisil as well. Of course, an Olympian in him. So if they get the right offer, can they find a Martin Pospisil trade partner? And then Ryan Lomberg. Also, one other thing that I wanted to mention on the Mackenzie Weegar front, with that repercussion, you would now think that White Cloud is here to stay. He had a fun, amazing event yesterday at the Seven Chiefs Arena Family Public Skate. So you would think Mackenzie Weegar, Zach Whitecloud is in the front runner of being a great ambassador for the team, being part of the indigenous native community. You would think that's a good sign to come. So I'm betting that Whitecloud is here to stay for the foreseeable future. And then do the Flames get deals either for Ryan Lomberg or either Martin Pospisil? That's the question. Matt C saying Colorado getting Roy says to me the Kadri is off the table. You know, that's accurate. And I've heard many say that Kadri going to Colorado is off the table. But I wonder other teams like a Minnesota, they need a center, of course, after trading like Buyam? Marco Rossi, after trading Marco Rossi, that's the name I was looking for. After trading Marco Rossi, could Minnesota be in the hunt for Nazem Kadri? Could Montreal Canadiens be still in the forerunner for Nazem Kadri? Two teams at least. Again, do the ownership allow for retention is the next big question. But definitely I agree with you, Matsi, on that point that Nazem Kadri might be off the table for Colorado. PT is here. I'm doing good. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for spending this Wednesday evening with us. Pleb is here as well. Hi, Pleb. Feel free to ask me any trade deadline related questions. Any thoughts on tonight's game? Everything open line, open topic in the YouTube chat. But welcome aboard. Thanks for spending with us this Thursday evening as the Flames lose this one by a score of 4-1. What's your thoughts on the Blake Coleman, Texas Tiger, Coleman's potential trade destination? I'm still thinking there are a few teams on him. Tampa Bay Lightning, Tampa Bay, Dallas Stars probably. But since they got, hold on 1 second. Let me. Dallas Stars probably still interested in Blake Coleman. I don't know where Blake Coleman wants to move. I know his family is surrounded in the Dallas Stars, Texas area. So maybe he wants to be part of that nearby area. So I see at least a few teams interested in him. I don't know how likely it's going to happen tomorrow. We hope at least maybe one of Kadri or one of Coleman is moved by tomorrow. That's the hope. And that's the question from Gladiator. Gladiator, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining in. But it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. A lot of players on the trade block for the Calgary Flames, including the most mentioned Blake Coleman and Nazem Kadri. Then there is the less mentioned Mate Pospisil, Mate Pospisil, Joel Hanley, Braden Pachal, Ryan Lomberg. Could you find trade suitors for them? Is going to be the next big question. Also, officially, with the Flames loss tonight, they moved to 31st in the league. St. Louis Blues jump ahead with the most regulation wins at 22. Flames have only 20. Vancouver Canucks is still at rock bottom, 32nd. They have a 12-point difference between the Flames. So the Flames, at least for now, guaranteed to pick in the top 3. I'm hoping it really works out for the Flames draft-wise. If you get an elite talent in like the form of Gavin McKenna or Keaton Verhoff or Ivar Stenberg, trust me, the product on the ice, what we are seeing compared to now, will be so much interesting. Tokai number 1, welcome aboard. Yes, 31st in the league. After the regulation loss against the Ottawa Senators, the Flames dropped 6-1 against the Dallas Stars and don't have a win in this homestand yet to make count for the standings. So the Flames struggle. And Tokai number 1 saying McKenna. That's everybody's dream. We need feistiness. Yeah, we need punchy. So 100%. That's where things are sitting at. Alright, let's head into the third period. Let's take a look at the other news around the NHL. Okay, before that, we have a question from the chat from McDavid9742. Hey Anand, big Oilers fan here. Okay, that message got deleted. Okay, we'll see if he comes back, or if it is probably. Okay, big Oilers fan here. I'm a bit of an outsider on the Flames. Are you hearing any? Who even is that player? Nick. I don't think a player is on the database for the NHL. And he's definitely not part of the Calgary organization. So I'm gonna skip that question entirely. Sorry, McDavid, 9742. Thanks for your question though. Thanks for hanging out with us. But don't know who that player is. Not part of the Calgary system. So I'll choose to pass that question. But let's get into the other news. Some of the big splashes I was going to talk about in the NHL, how that could affect the Flames, of course. We'll start with, of course, Matsy talking about how Colorado got Nicholas Roy. That could put Kadri out of the conversation on trading him to Colorado Avalanche. The other trades that happened, Tyler Myers. Okay, Tokai number 1 saying it's a pun, ban him. I don't have the YouTube chat open on my laptop right now, but let me see if I can. Okay, put this user on timeout. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Apologies for that. A little bit of auto modding on the spot. Thanks to guy number one. Of course, I knew it was some kind of troll from what I understood. So thanks for that. Really appreciate it. But going back to our conversation on Nicholas Roy. So Colorado Avalanche probably out of the conversation for Nazim Kadri. Could maybe Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know if it's on his no trade list. That could affect something. Does Toronto Maple Leafs need him now that Toronto Maple Leafs have lost many in a row? I think it's now 4 or 5 since the Olympic break. I don't think they are going for a playoff push. So I think Toronto Maple Leafs is out of the conversation on Nazim Kadri. Who else could be interested? Montreal Canadiens I talked about. So Montreal Canadiens, Carolina Hurricanes. It all depends on if any of these teams are on his no trade list. That's the only thing. Blake Coleman on the otherwise, I feel like there is anywhere between 5 to 10 teams looking for him still. And now the only question once again, token number one, is it true that ownership blocked a Kadri trade? That's what I have heard. I don't know if it's true or not. It was reported by, let me get you that detail quickly. I know it's Nick Kyprios of, where is he based out of? Let's see if he can help me find where he's based on. He's based out of Toronto. He's the one that talked on Sportsnet on their 590. So similar to Sportsnet 960 down here. Is the one who said the Flames the Flames ownership next to Nazim Kadri trade. They were really close to giving him a same package of what Nicholas Roy got. So that's what Nick Kyprios reported, but I don't know if it's any true to that. He's the one only who really said about that. And I know Nick Kyprios has reported a couple of stuff here and there that maybe didn't become factual or maybe was suspicious about. But he was the one who eventually reported that. So let's say 60-40 that the Flames blocked a trade. All right, Gladiator, I think we should trade Cooley. I think his name is also out there. They might be listening on Cooley as well. But I think the Dustin Wolf and Devin Cooley tandem has been really working well. So I would like to keep it as it is because down in the AHL, Ivan Prasvatov has been struggling. Arseny Sergeyev and Owen said those three goaltenders are the ones down in the AHL. I don't think any of them are NHL ready yet. So till the end of this season, keep riding with Dustin Wolf and Devin Cooley. And then evaluate next season what they look like. Anyway, Devin Cooley signed 2 more years. Devin Cooley is a great locker room guy. You need that now, especially now that Mackenzie Weegar, Rasmus Anderson, those leaders got traded out. Jonathan Huberdeau is not with the team because he's getting surgery. So a few great locker room guys like Ryan Lomberg, Devin Cooley, if you can keep him, and then see how the next season goes and then decide whether to trade him. But great thought, Gladiator. Really appreciate it. Nicholas is asking, Anand, are you going to be calling any high river games next season? Hopefully. That's my plan. I believe the High River Flyers have a banquet coming up this Saturday, so I'll be away for that. Um, Hopefully, Conrad will be available for that post game show. If not, we will postpone it. But Saturday, I'll be at the High River Flyers banquet to celebrate the 3 graduating players. But yeah, I'm hoping to be back with the High River Flyers if I don't find something else. I'm thankful to the High River Flyers organization for giving me an opportunity to go solo play by play for a team. The team definitely struggled a bit, like the Calgary Flames, but the boys played to their heart and got the wins when they needed to. Hopefully, they can turn it around next season and hopefully push for a playoff spot. It would be so cool calling playoff games. I enjoyed one playoff game yesterday against it was the U15 AAA Bisons and the Flames. That was fun to call as well. So, Nicholas, thanks for that question. Really appreciate it. Alright, let's get into overtime and cut this short as we are heading into the final stages. Breaking news though, Connor Garland from the Vancouver Canucks is being traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets. 2 picks in return, a second being the highest. So, LA Friedman just breaking that one out. Let's see. So nothing Flames related yet still, so we'll stand by on that. I'll see if there is anything Flames in the morning. Maybe we'll do another live segment for Game Over Calgary fans. But Connor Garland is being traded to Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for 2nd round pick and the 3rd round pick. So that's Vancouver Canucks news as they continue to struggle and sit at the rock bottom of the league. Alright, let's get to some chatter here quickly. Matt C saying Coronado has 32 shots on goal and without hitting the net. 100% agreed. And like I said, he's been snake bitten for a while. Hopefully, he can change things around. Colorado to or Roy to Colorado gets Kadri off the table for Colorado, but hopefully there are other teams kicking on the door. Blake Coleman, Texas Tiger, potential trade destination. We talked about maybe a Dallas Stars or Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll see how that goes in that front. Tokai number 1, excited about Gavin McKenna. I am too, we all are. Just hoping that it works our way this year, just this year, and maybe into the next so we can get like maybe a Landon DuPont or somebody. But really hoping that comes through. And then is it true that ownership blocked a Kadri trade? I would say 60-40 or 70-30. It was Nick Kipros who reported that on 590 fan 590 earlier on today that there was a block because of retention. Alright, that will do it for me tonight. Or actually, token number 1, who made the best trade so far? The Wild with Hughes. Yeah, I think the Wild with Hughes would be happy for Vancouver Canucks. Because I think they got the pieces what they wanted to get younger and in a rebuilding phase. So I think that was the best trade. We'll see if there is more from the Vancouver Canucks land tomorrow, including I believe Brock Besser is being talked about as well. So I'll see if I can get together an analysis for tomorrow. Alright, that will do it. If there are no more questions, thanks to Tokai number 1, thanks to Nicholas, thanks to Gladiator. Thanks to Pleb, thanks to PT, and thank you to Matt C for hanging out with me this evening. Tomorrow is trade deadline day, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time is the final trades to be placed. We'll see if anything happens early morning. I'll try to get up early morning and see if we can report something for the Flames. My hope, at least, is one of maybe Blake Coleman or Nazim Kadri gets traded, and then maybe one of maybe a Joel Hanley or a Braden Pachal if they garner some interest, because eventually you want to try to bring Brustovic back up, and eventually maybe Joel Hanley and Pachal wants to go play for a playoff team as well. So on that note, have yourself a great rest of your weekend. Have yourself a great Friday watching the trade deadline shows wherever you're watching it on. I believe all the media outlets will cover it, TSN, Sportsnet, everywhere. And on behalf of Game Over Network Calgary, whether it's Vancouver, Montreal, all the networks, go show them some love. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe this show as well, so you can tune in to us tomorrow if we decide to go live, or at least I'll try to put a recorded segment on. If not, we will catch up real soon here. But the Flames could look different heading into trade deadline day. Have a great night, and we'll see you back soon. This has been Game Over Calgary, and your host Anand Unnithan. Take care. Good night.